Hello, ladies. Today we are talking about messaging and finding the tangible outcomes of your offers so you can speak to something that your clients want to buy. So, one of the biggest problems that I see online with heart led or spiritual entrepreneur women is a struggle to speak to tangible outcomes. And if you can't say what your offers will tangibly do for your clients, why on earth would they become your clients? They have no idea what you'll do for them. So they don't want to pay you good money and possibly see no ROI, right? Return on investment. So, first of all, what are not tangible outcomes? Feelings, states of being, understanding something, and even learning is rarely tangible enough. Um, and then the next thing that I see a lot is these women not knowing how to describe their tangible outcomes in the first place, or worse, not even knowing what they are, not being able to articulate it themselves. So, all of the beautiful intentions of saving the world and creating impact and supporting other women in their lives and all of these things um, are incredible. And at the same time, if you have no way of convincing people, and this is not an icky convincing, right, but just allowing them to understand you, if you have no way of convincing people that you're worth investing in, they're not going to invest. And that's heartbreaking because I know that you have something that will really change their lives, right? Um, so how do you find your tangible outcomes and then how do you speak to them? This is our focus for today. So, first of all, being multi-passionate is a beautiful thing, okay? I am multi-passionate. I know most of you are multi-passionate. But you have to be able to narrow it down for each offer, for each ideal client, and each post. Okay. And there's a very simple way to do this. Having one ideal client avatar and one focus for each offer, and then one messaging point per post about the offer. You are allowed multiple ideal clients and dozens of offers if you want, right? Eventually. But when you're starting out, you don't want to be selling 10 different things. And if you haven't validated even one single offer, then you don't want to be releasing multiple offers at that point. Okay. Because you are going to confuse your audience and you're going to confuse yourself. So get the clarity on one and nail it down and then move on to the next. And I'm guilty of this, sometimes even still to this day, right? I get overexcited about like five different offers at once and I confuse the hell out of my audience. But when I reel it in, when I pull back and slow down a little and get clarity before I sell, it works every time. And one of the most important things to remember is that clarity and being able to speak to your tangible outcomes clearly will give you the authority that you need in order to be able to sell. So people need to know that you're the expert, right? And of course, you are the expert, but if you aren't able to articulate it easily, then you're going to have a harder time selling. So I'm going to give you some actual steps today that you can walk through. And my challenge for you today is to pick one offer and follow these steps to focus on getting clarity with it for one whole week. And then focus on selling only that one thing for 2 whole weeks. Okay. And by mid August, if you're doing this live with me, if you haven't made a sale, then we are going to focus on market research and asking the right questions to make sure you're selling something that your audience wants to buy. And if you have made a sale, we are going to focus on what worked and what didn't and why, and make some tweaks to amplify what you're doing and make more sales. Okay. So today you can make some quick notes and just know that I'm going to speed up the process today and get this training uploaded into your portal today, not just within the next couple of days, so that you can listen again if needed to make sure that you're following the steps and following along for this specific challenge. I'm just going to really quick make sure that everybody is Nobody seems to be having problems getting on. So I just wanted to double check that. And away we go. So step one. Step one is simple. Pick an offer, right? Relatively simple. If your offer has multiple tiers or different options or different levels to it, pick one to focus on for this, okay? We can really get ourselves into the weeds if we try to pick too many things, if we try to focus on too many things at once. And we're not helping ourselves, and we're not making it possible for people to understand what we're selling and buy it from us. So pick an offer, get really, really clear on which one you're going to focus on for the next 3 weeks. Okay. At minimum 3 weeks. And you're not going to sell anything else, not even your freebies. Okay. Not even your podcast, your, whatever. You're not going to talk about anything else but this for 3 weeks, unless it is directly related and leading to this. Okay. So step 2, pick a number for how many people you can handle serving this offer to in the next month. Keep your eyes on the near future. Okay. We can do longer term goals another time, but right now, how many people can you actually handle if they were to all buy in the next month? How many people would you actually be able to serve this offer to successfully within 1 month? Okay. Number 3, double check number 2 by asking yourself how many hours one client will need from you in this offer within 1 month, and multiplying it by the number of clients that you're aiming to sell it to. Be brutally honest with yourself here. Okay. Can you serve this many clients in the next month comfortably and still have time to post on social media, build out your back end, engage with your audience, provide free value, and so on? And not to mention self-care and having an actual life and all of the other things that come outside of the business, right? So if the answer is no, then look at a couple of things. Number 1, are you charging enough? Because if you're trying to hit a dollar amount and you're picking the number of people based on your dollar amount, then maybe you need to raise your prices in order to be able to handle the number of people that you can actually serve in this time frame. And then 2, are your expectations for yourself reasonable? So if you haven't ever sold this before and you're aiming to sell it out in 1 month, think again. Okay. It's not impossible. This is not to create limiting beliefs, but it is improbable. And you are much more likely to burn yourself out and overdo it and all of that if you don't pull it back a little bit and get really honest and realistic with your goals. Okay. So step 4, pick, if you haven't already, or revisit your price tag. Does it feel amazing and expansive and a tiny bit stretchy? Okay, we do want it to be like a little bit, but not so much that you're like, nobody's going to pay me that. That's insane. Like, you're just going to block the sales from coming in if you go too far outside of your comfort zone. Okay. Step 5, make sure you have a way for people to buy this offer. Okay, even if it's as basic as setting up a button or a link on PayPal so you can auto create a separate invoice for any individual, just do not make it difficult for people to buy from you. Okay, by causing any delays to the process, like not having this set up before you start selling it, you can lose sales. Okay, if there's anything that will slow people down from just clicking, entering their information, and hitting purchase, you will lose sales, like guaranteed. So you want to have at least one super clear and simple way for people to actually purchase this offer from you. Okay. Step 6, your ideal client clarity for this offer, for the one that you picked. Okay. Now, again, and I've done trainings on this before. So if you need that, go back to the past trainings and look at that. But having ideal client clarity is different for every single offer if you're in my world. So I talk about how we can have multiple ideal clients and multiple offers and all of that because I specifically speak to women who are multi-passionate, right? So having having just one ideal client and niching down for your entire business is really, really constrictive for most of the women that I work with. So what we do instead is we niche down for each offer. So for this one offer, who is your ideal client? Who's the one person? And I really want you to release any fear of, missing out, any FOMO, okay? Because if you speak to too many people, if you try to encompass too many people in one offer, you're going to speak to nobody and you're not going to sell it. So pick one ideal client for this offer. And then go over the top on this. Take your time with it, go into crazy detail, write it all out, get super duper clear, create your ideal client avatar. Now, this might be a specific person that would be perfect for your offer, and you can just talk about them as you do this. Or it might be someone that you've imagined in your mind and you're like, okay, I need to get to know this ideal client avatar. So again, go over the top. Describe this one person. Who are they at their core? What do they love? What do they hate? What is their biggest problem? What would they pay anything to have? Okay. What would change their life? What kinds of things do they enjoy doing? You do not have to set an age, a location, etc., unless that applies to your specific offer. So if you're selling something in person and they need to be able to come and see you in person, that's going to be different than if you're doing an online thing that's sort of more ongoing, if, whatever. So I don't have, for example, for this membership, I don't have an age restriction set for my ideal client because, I mean, look at the range of ages we've got in here, right? It's completely not a requirement for someone to be starting out in business to be a certain age. You can be any age to start out in business. So those things do not necessarily need to apply depending on your specific offer. Okay, so you are really, really getting offer specific here. Okay, as far as the ideal client goes. Now, step 7, answer these questions for yourself. How long is your offer? Okay, is it 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year? Like, how long are people going to be inside of this offer if they buy or when they buy? So when they pay you, how long are they staying with you before they achieve what they're paying you for? Are they going to need to buy it again and again and again to get to that outcome eventually? Or is it something that they will achieve now in this offer in, say, the next 3 months of, like, if it's a 3-month offer? Okay. If they are not going to achieve it in that time frame, then you don't have your tangible outcome. Okay, so what can you shift? What can you increase the value on so that you are delivering on the outcome that they are purchasing inside of this offer? And if you can't deliver the outcome that you want to deliver in the window of this offer, reconsider the length of it. Reconsider, maybe you want to just take one piece of the outcome that you want to deliver and focus on that for this specific offer. And you can revamp based on that, right? Next question. What's the structure of the offer? How will you serve the clients who sign up? Do you have all the pieces in place to easily and efficiently deliver your offer? Okay. This might mean Zoom being set up if you're going to have Zoom calls included. How many calls are you going to have, if any? How do they contact you before, during, and after the offer? And this can be as simple as Facebook Messenger. If that is, you don't want to have any software set up, you don't want to have to deal with any different things, they can literally send you a DM. You can do messenger calls. You can do voice notes in there. There's so much capability, even just in that very most basic method. Okay. And you might decide, nope, that's not professional enough for me, and you want to go with all the other options. But having that stuff clear ahead of time so that you know what you need to have set up, make sure that that's complete and running smoothly, test it out, all of that, so that when people come in, they're getting a great experience. Okay. And so that you can be really clear when you're talking about your offer, you can be really clear how they should reach out to you. Okay. And also asking yourself, what hours and days are you going to be available to your clients inside of this offer? So, if you're not clear on that, if you don't have that set ahead of time, then you can't tell that to them ahead of time. And then we come back into the business boundaries, which was the last training, right? So if you haven't watched that, go watch that. But if you have not said, I am only available, like for instance, in this membership, I have office hours on Tuesdays in the afternoon for 4 hours. That's it. You guys do not have constant access to me throughout the rest of the week, right? And that is protecting my boundaries. That is making it so that I can have multiple offers. That is making it so that I can serve at a really high level when I show up, and that I'm able to turn it off when I'm not supposed to be working. Because in no offer ever should they have unlimited access to you 24/7, not even in one-on-one. Okay. So what hours and what days are you going to be available to them? Have that be really clear. And especially if you are a mom with young kids at home, have it be super clear, right? I am going to be present with my kids this times, these times, that time, all of that. And then I have self-care for myself. I do these things during these times, and block those all out on your calendar, and then look at what's left. Like, how many hours do I actually have where I can serve clients, work on the back end of my business, create new offers, engage, promote, all of those things. You need to fit those things into those windows, right? It's really important. So making sure that you're very clear on that first. Now, third question, what specific things are you going to be doing with the clients inside of this offer during the duration of this offer? So again, just saying we have a 3-month offer. If you have 2 calls a month, that's 6 calls. Okay. Are they group calls? Are they one-on-one calls? Like, what is your offer? You want to be really clear on all of these things. What are you doing on those calls? Is it coaching? Is it healing? Is it, um, like being really, really clear? And you don't have to, I want to be clear here. You do not have to speak to all of the details of what you're going to be doing and the how you're going to help them to achieve the tangible outcomes in your posting. Okay, you don't need to speak to that, but you need to know what it's going to look like so that when you are delivering, you're not flying by the seat of your pants. You're not making it up as you go, right? Okay, number 4, what will they walk away with? If they put in the effort, what are they going to walk away with after your offer? What problem are you solving with them? Okay. And if you're not solving a problem, maybe take a look at that, right? If you're just like, it is possible to sell an experience and not necessarily as a solution to something, but that is a sort of a next step thing. Okay. It is, and I don't even want to say that because I don't want to put, again, any limiting beliefs. If that is what you want to do, then that's what we can focus on. But that doesn't really speak to tangible outcomes as much, right? So that's a different method of selling. So you want to know what problem you're solving with them. Okay. Number 5, how will you guarantee that your end of the bargain is met? Okay. What are you going to do to make sure that you are able to show up and deliver on your promises? So, are you going to be really intentional about your self-care time so that you're feeling amazing and you can show up fully? Are you going to have all of your trainings, if there's trainings involved, written, recorded, all of that ahead of time? What are you going to do so that you can guarantee that your end of the bargain, when they purchase, that your end of the bargain is being met, that you are fulfilling on what you're offering? Okay. And this can pivot. It can, if you start and you're like, this is not working, you can pivot. You can shift it and explain why to them and show them how you are delivering better value by changing the plan. Okay. But you need to know ahead of time what you're planning to do to show up and deliver. Number 6, will you have any sort of accountability structure in place to support them in accomplishing their end of the bargain? Now, you don't have to do this. This is literally just a question for you to ask yourself. But if you want to have a piece in there that helps to remind them, that helps to just keep them on track, right? Um, and again, you don't have to, but if you're going to do that, what is that going to look like? How will you check in with them? How often will you check in with them? Are you going to let them know that you're going to do that ahead of time? All of that. Okay. These are really important pieces to know. Now, step 8, make sure that the outcomes are tangible. Okay. So here's the meat and potatoes of this training. Ask yourself, what are they experiencing now that they are wanting to put an end to? So what's going on in their life? What is the experience that they're having that is making them desire a change? Okay. Um, why? Why do they want to put an end to it? What is it causing in their life? So is it making them feel miserable? Is it causing problems in their relationships? Is it, depending on what your offer is, the answer to these questions are going to be really, really different, but you need to answer them. You need to know. And if you are unsure of what's going on in their life, that's the problem, then that's your problem. That's something that you need to figure out in order to be able to sell this offer. So, and quick reminder with any of these steps, ladies, as you're asking yourself these questions, as you're getting clarity, as you're diving into it, if you need help, bring it into the chat, right? Bring it into the messenger and we will, or into the Telegram chat, and we will figure it out together. That is what the membership is for, right? That's how I support you there. So what are they experiencing that they want to put an end to? Why do they want to put an end to it? What is it causing in their life that is making them desire change? Okay. Also, flip side of that, what do they dream about? What would they accomplish if they could accomplish anything in the world? What would they do? Does your offer achieve that with them, or at least the first step of it for and with them, right? You want to actually be achieving those dreams in your offers, whether that is, again, fully or just the first step, getting them started. And you can have different offers for each step along the way, right? But this one offer, is it achieving at least that first step, if not the entire outcome? Okay. And then what will they get to have in their life when they've finished with your program, coaching, or course, etc., right? Whatever your offer is, what do they get to have in their life once they're done with you? Okay. And get really clear on that. Get specific. Write out examples, right? Make sure that you understand. And those examples are fantastic in all of those situations. Okay. You want to have examples of what they might be experiencing right now in their life that's causing the problem, that's making them desire the change. You want to have examples of their dreams, of what they would accomplish if they could. And you want to have examples of what it's going to look like in their physical life, in their day-to-day life. What is going to change about their life once they have achieved this result with you? Now, with that last one, what do they get to have in their life when they've finished with your program? Add to the end of the sentence for every single piece of it. If there's multiple outcomes, fantastic. But depending on the size of the offer that you want to do. If it's small, you want to have one outcome. If you're doing a longer program, you can have multiple outcomes. But with each one, what do they get to have in their life? And then add to the end of that sentence so that ... Okay, you can move on to, this is going to create XYZ in their life. Okay. And again, examples are fantastic. If you can come up with 3 to 5 examples, you're golden. So go, what do they get to have in their life? Say, for example, with this membership, you get to find clarity on your offers so that you can sell them, so that you can make sales, so that you can have the business of your dreams, and you can continue on with all of these pieces, right? What are the so that pieces? Get really clear. Okay, this is key, you guys. And then the last thing to check on, or to check in with yourself about, if they don't do your program now, what will they experience? Why should they not wait, right? What makes it more urgent? And if you can't think of something that makes it more urgent, let's talk about that, because this is key. What is going to make it so that they're like, I need to do this and I need to do it now? If they don't do it, what are they going to be experiencing in their life? Okay. Step 9, test it out. Okay. Do, 3 different posts about, is this something that you want? Doing market research. Okay. Who is interested in X? If I could give you Y, would you want it? That type of thing. Okay. Um, taking those tangible results that you have nailed down in the previous steps and putting them out there and saying, do you want this, to people? And get some responses. You can also bring them into the membership if you don't have a big audience, all of that. You can talk about it in there. I can confirm, all of that. But market research is so, so valuable. It gives us so much good information to work with. So make sure that you are also doing that as you go through all of these. This process is something that you can do in one day if you sit down and just do it. Okay, if you dedicate the time to it, you can do it. If you need to, if you don't have a ton of time in one day, you can spread this out over a week, including the market research. Okay, 1 week is what you have to get really clear and nailed down on this offer. That's what I'm challenging you to do this week. Okay, and then finally, step 10, if you want to prep content ahead before you launch. If you're like most people, I'm not like this. I write the content as I go. I love just like in the moment flow and just go, 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 go. I don't suggest that. Okay. Because for most people, especially if you are not a generator or a manifesting generator in human design, okay, for most people, that is going to be difficult for you because you are not built to just go, 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 right? And be that Energizer Bunny type. Yeah, you're not a creator type energy type. So, or sorry, like energy creation. I'm not going to go into human design, but here is a basic outline. Okay, if you want to prep some content ahead of time and this is like, about 2 weeks of selling. You want to have, let's say, 4 value posts. These are posts where you really showcase your expertise. Okay, pick one tiny piece of information, one tiny piece of what you do and what you know very, very well inside and out, and break it down. Really, really break it down into the details, into easy to follow steps. Okay. So that they can put it into action and go, holy shit, that changed my life already. Or so that they read it and they're just like mind blown that you are so, so knowledgeable on this topic. Okay. And don't be afraid of giving away too much because, first of all, most people aren't going to implement anything without hand holding, anyways. Okay. These posts, though, should have a call to action on them, even though they are value posts. Okay. So this is something that learning to have a wide variety of call to actions is really important. So the ones that you want on these types of posts, because you're giving value, right? You're not trying to say like, now buy my thing, but you want to still have a call to action. You want them to do something based on your post. So you can have something along the lines of, tell me about your experience once you implement this, or have you ever tried doing this before? And just having that question at the end of the post. Or if you have questions about this, drop them in the comments and let's talk about it, right? And you can give them one extra free step to help them understand better in the comments before then saying, hey, let's take this to the DMs and let's have a conversation. And then you can, if you've done that and they still need more help or whatever, you can say like, let's just take this to the DMs so this doesn't get lost in the notifications. And then you can continue the conversation in the DMs and you can say, I'm actually doing this program. This is what it's going to create for you. And would you like to join me? Right? It can be that simple to sell in the DMs. So make sure that even your value posts have that call to action. Okay. Then you want to have about 4 sales posts. And these posts should specifically have a call to action along the lines of, tell me about not of like, buy my thing, right? Not talk about, but like actually buy. So you want to have call to actions that are like, the link is in the comments. send me a DM with this word so that I can prioritize your message, things like that. And there are many different ways to structure a sales post. Okay, we can break that down in the membership if needed. They can range from a well thought out and worded color block post to a long form description of what's included in your offer. Like, it can be all sorts. You really want to minimize the number of long form posts. Okay, I love writing long form content, but it is not how you sell on social media. So very, very few people are going to read that long content. And usually, if they don't already know that you are an expert that they can rely on, they're not going to take the time. So try to keep them a short to medium length. What does that mean? Medium, I would say, is like maybe 750 words max. Okay. If you are writing your posts on social media, don't do that. Move it into like a Google document or whatever so that you don't accidentally lose your posts on social media. And you can also turn on that ability to see how many words your post is, right? Um, Keeping it under that is something that will help you to have people actually take the time to glean what they can from your posts and actually read them, right? You don't want to write long form content only and then have nobody willing to read it, nobody getting the results from it, nobody then following the call to action because they never get to the end of that post where you drop that call to action and tell them what you want them to do from that post, right? So very important. You can, though, like I said, you can have a long form one, just don't have them all be long form. Next thing you want to have is about 4 to 6 color block engagement posts. Okay, be strategic with these though. You do not want it to just be like, hey, what's your favorite color? Like, you don't want it to just be something that's really easy for people to engage on just to engage. You want it to be related to your offer. So, trying to think of a specific example for this, like, and I should have probably come up with one ahead of time, but that's okay. So for example, so for my wild feminine inner leader or wild feminine leaders inner circle, I can talk. I have all kinds of content about why I talk about the wild feminine. What is the wild feminine? Like all of these kinds of things. But I also do color block posts, and I do like, what is the wild feminine to you? Question mark. Like, start a conversation, right? That's an engagement post that they can see, like, glance at and have read the whole sentence, and it's very, very specifically related to my offer. And then as I have, then they respond in the comments, then I can continue a conversation in the comments and build up that knowledge base of like what my audience is thinking about what I talk about. I can build my authority. I can mention that I have an offer related to it. I can, see what point they're at. And I have personally, like, I've got multiple different levels that they could jump in on. I've got a wild feminine intuition freebie, right? A meditation that they can do. I've got all the different pieces. So if they're not right for the one offer that I'm talking about, I have related things that I can send them to. You don't have to have that, but having these engagement color block posts is going to help for people to see who you are, what you do, what your authority is, what the offer's about, all of that kind of thing. And sometimes it can be a question to get what to figure out like where they're at, like that example, or it can be a statement that's really bold, right? That shows where you stand on an issue so that they can then know, like, yeah, this is somebody that I want to continue following her content, that I want to see more of, that kind of thing. So being strategic about your color block posts. And then having, this will depend on the size of your offer. Okay. Once you have your structure for your offer, if you're like, okay, this is a course and we have 4 modules, and in each module there are 4 lessons. So therefore there are 16 lessons altogether. I would suggest writing 16 posts, okay, that are very specific to the different pieces of your offer. Okay. So you want to write a post about the topic that module number 1 or lesson number 1 is going to be related to. And it's not giving them all the content of that lesson, but it's just a small, like a little snippet, a little overview, or a little um tidbit, a little tiny win, where, and this can be part of your value posts, right? Like these can kind of overlap. So the number of these that you have can overlap with some of these value posts and sales posts and stuff like that, right? If you um but it's just is showcasing the depth of your knowledge and understanding on this topic in all of the little pieces, right? And again, don't be afraid of giving away too much, because nobody is reading every single one of your posts. Okay, not even me, and I'm the crazy person that is the top engaged in every group and and reads almost every post and all of that kind of stuff. Nobody is seeing all of your posts. Anyone that is seeing most of your posts is not going to remember every detail of every post. You literally cannot give away your whole course by talking about all the different pieces in all these different posts. Okay, what this will do though is just maximize, right? It's going to be like, holy, this girl knows what she's talking about. She is on fire. She's got some potent content. She's got this, it's really clear what she's going to do for me, what I'm going to learn from her, all of that kind of thing. And again, your tangible outcomes have nothing to do with how you're getting them there. Okay, you do not want to talk about, we're going to have healing calls and we're going to have this and we're going to do that and we're going to, like, no, what result are they achieving? Plain and simple. Okay. So, and you can, of course, you can have much more content than this prepared ahead of time if you want to. You can have stories, you can have lives planned, you could do like a short challenge to lead into your offer or event, or like an event that you can put on. You can do trainings, you can do like just go live and talk about it, and invite people to ask you questions about it. And there's all kinds of ways that you can do this. But you want to have those basic, like the value posts, the sales posts, some engagement posts, and then the offer specific clarity posts, like what this is kind of posts. That will be like, that will just give you that foundation where if you create nothing else in that time frame, you will at least have this stuff that you can put out. Now, I want, when you actually start putting it out, I want you to have already decided where you're sharing it, how often you're sharing about it, and so on. Okay, so if you have your own group, sharing it there, sharing it on your profile. You can decide, like stories might be one of the methods you pick, like pick 5, okay? And then maybe say 2 other groups where you're going to share about it, where your audience is aligned with their audience. So you want to be really clear about that. The people in this group, it's not just like, oh, I'm allowed to sell there, so I'm going to sell there. It's, where are there people who are ideal for your offer, and getting really clear about that. Okay, and this could maybe be step 11, but like, where are you going to sell it? Have those picked ahead of time. And then every day when you go to post, go in, engage for 5 minutes in that space. If that's your profile, that means like go to other people's profiles who would be perfect for this offer. If you're not sure who that is, this is an experimentation process. This is something that you have to learn over time. So go find, if type in a keyword in the search bar in Facebook that is related to your offer, and click on people who come up and just go engage on their content. Just like go look at their posts, actually read them, see if they seem like, yeah, this person would be a good fit for my offer, and then engage on their post. Write a genuine comment, give a tip, like it, all of this kind of stuff. You engaging with their stuff means that the algorithm will show them your stuff. Okay, that's how this works. You can send friend requests. You can, there's all of these kinds of things. And we're not doing this in a spammy way. We're looking at, okay, who is actually in alignment with me? Who is someone that would be someone I can help, someone I can serve, right? And just, even if you do that with 3 people, that's enough, right? Go do that with 3 people, then post on your profile. If you need, if you're not getting much engagement on your profile, do a bring it into the membership. Ask the ladies in the membership, like, hey, can you just go engage with this post on my profile? Or bring it into my Heartbeats Harbor group. The women in there are amazing for that as well. Or if you have a circle of people who, you tend to engage with each other's stuff, reach out to them and just say, hey, I would really love some visibility on this post. Can you go give it a like and a comment? And there's nothing wrong with doing that. That just helps to sort of get the momentum going. You really want to have very, very quick momentum right away when you post. Okay. You don't want it to sit for hours. You don't want it to sit for days. And the algorithms are changing. It's kind of like you have like almost like a 5-minute window. It's super short at first. And then you also get some where it like comes back up in the algorithm later on. So, but what you can control, you can't control that one where it comes back up later. But what you can control is the initial response to it. And that's going to affect whether it comes back up later. Okay. So you want to have you post, heart your post, like your own post. Okay. It's not cheesy. It gives it like it's just a tiny little bit of a boost for that post. And it's important. So do that. And then again, have, 2 or 3 friends maybe that you reach out to and say, hey, can you engage on this post? And you don't want to do that for every single post that you post, but the key ones that you really want people to see, you can do that with, right? And just get that engagement very, very quickly. So again, if you are posting in your own group, go in, talk to other people in the comments. If people are allowed to post in your group, then go interact on their posts, all of that before you post. Okay. Do that first, then post your post, and then give it a love. And then if you need to, ask people to go and engage on it. And then same goes for when you're in somebody else's group. So again, you want to be really clear, like, is this a group where my ideal client is hanging out? And if so, go in, engage on other people's posts first, then post your post, and then like your own post, and so on. Okay. We're going to keep sort of that cycle the whole way through. Even with stories, if stories is part of your plan, engage on other people's stories. If you don't do that, nobody's going to see your stories. Okay. So you want to go look through other people's stories, see what other people are doing, react, comment, all of that kind of thing. At least view them. Okay. You don't have to react and comment. That's not necessary with stories. If you're viewing them, Facebook tracks that. Okay. So if you're seeing other people's stuff, they can look at who saw their stories. They can see your name, and then they might click on your name and go like, who's this person? Why are they interested? And again, this can be really strategic to sort of random. You can be anywhere in between. So you can specifically look at people's stories who you think would be perfect for your offers, or you can just sort of do it at random and just at least engage on some other stories so that Facebook will then show your stories to other people. Okay, so again, whatever methods you choose are fine, but pick 5 and have that be your focus for the next 2 weeks once you have this clarity. And then again, this is the challenge, right? We're going to take 1 week and get super, super clear about one offer, make a really simple way for people to buy it from us. And then for 2 weeks, we're going to focus on only selling that offer and go, right? And just, the reason that I'm doing this is because I want to make it really, really clear how often we trip ourselves up as far as sales go in our business. Okay, you don't have to be very far along in your business to make a sale. That can happen right at the beginning. It doesn't have to be something that you give away for free. It doesn't have to be something that you give away for a ridiculously low price. None of it, as long as you are very clear on your tangible outcomes and you can speak to them in a conversation with somebody without having to have a script prepared, right? You want to be that clear on it. So if you have any questions about this, if you need support on any step of this, and I mean, this can be right from step 1, picking which offer. If you're not sure which offer would be a good one to focus on, bring that into the Telegram chat. If you need help on figuring out the number of hours that you have available and therefore how many clients you can offer this to, how many spots you're trying to fill in the first month, all of that, bring that into the chat. If you are not sure about your price tag, bring that into the chat. This is all stuff that I can support you with. But I need you to actually say, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm confused on. What should I do? Right. And we can go from there. So hopefully that was a very clear and helpful training for you ladies today. And we will continue on in the chat this afternoon during office hours, and we can really build out from this. I will get this training posted in the membership portal right away so that you ladies that missed it are able to watch it right away. And I will post about this challenge that I'm putting to you ladies in the chat this afternoon as well, because I really want to start seeing some. I love the wins that are shared, but I want to start seeing some sales. I want to start seeing you ladies getting that return on investment. So we're going to push a little bit this next few weeks. So lots of love. Thank you for showing up today, for showing up to this membership all the time. And I look forward to helping you get either your first sales or your next sales or wherever you're at. So I will talk to you all later.